Across our lives, 1 in 4 people will have a mental health condition. That's 1 in 4 people in the room with you today. It's 1 in 4 people in our community. It's 1 in 4 people in your family. We know that talking really helps. It helps people to stay well, but it also helps people to think about their concerns and their worries more clearly. For some people, talking comes really easily. However, for others, it's not so easy. They fear judgment, they fear the stigma that comes perhaps with having a mental health condition, and they fear things might happen to them in their employment. The brave people in this short film today will say that most of those things are just not true, that people are ready to listen and to talk about mental health, and also that judgment is really rare. So, please watch our short film, and please be ready to talk and to listen about mental health. I've asked lots of other people to share their experiences through this project West Keep Talking. So I think it's only fair that I have the guts to talk about my own experiences of mental health as well.
I think people need to know that normal people as such have problems as well, and it's okay to have those problems.
I think if we get it more open and talk about it a bit more, then other people will not keep it bound up inside them. And once you start to talk about it, it makes life a lot easier.
We talk a lot about physical health. We don't talk enough about mental health.
I lost my sister and it completely floored me, and I tried to cope on my own, and it got to a stage where I realised I wasn't coping.
I still suffer a lot from anxiety. I'm very good at hiding it, but I still suffer a lot from anxiety. But I'm also sensible enough now to tell people when it's too much.
I attempted suicide. Had a day in work, came home, opened a bottle of wine, my children were with their dad, and I just thought, I've had enough.
What happened was just a straw that breaks a camel's back. But up until that time, I didn't realise what was going on. Just thought, that's no, that's life, c'est la vie, crack on.
I would describe eventually what happened is I went into the grey area, and looming on the horizon I could see the black area. So quite quickly I had to go off work and seek help.
Admitting then that there was something wrong was probably the hardest thing I have ever done in my life.
Admitting that you weren't coping.
I struggle with the guilt of how I affected other people around me at the time.
Why was I thinking these thoughts? What is wrong? I must be a bad mother, a bad sister, a bad person.
It just became a real burden because putting on a brave face is exhausting.
Well, really empty, just totally empty, and it was really, really worrying.
I'd failed myself, I'd failed my team, I'd failed clinically. That was the overpowering feeling that I had.
Counselling, which was extremely beneficial. And it was probably the first time in my whole life that I was able to spend time with one person to share everything about me.
Talking therapy with a counsellor really, really helped me.
I accepted help from the doctor, medication and things like that, and that's when I started. I don't ever say to get better, because I still have, even now, awful days, but not as bad. I could cope with it, and I was willing to get on then.
Being able to speak about it just relieves it and makes it lighter. It's not such a burden on me.
To be able to finally open up to my family and friends, being able to explain to them my feelings and why I was feeling like that was massive.
If you think of it a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle, when you start talking about things, you start getting all the little bits together, and finally it slots together to make this big picture, and suddenly you'll have that light bulb moment. You go, there we go. That's where this has come from.
To exercise, to try and sleep well, to eat well, and try and keep yourself well as much as possible. Keep talking. and surround yourself with good people.
I can, most of the time now, feel what the thoughts and emotions are and where they've come from and rationalise them before they've really upset me.
And I've got a brilliant manager, and some of my colleagues are amazing as well.
I've become a mental health champion with my union. I've become a blue light advocate, things like that, to try and help other people. And I find the more I learn about it, helps me.
The biggest thing that keeps me sort of stable is knowing it's okay to tell people when I'm really not doing well at all.
Then I go around cycling because I think that when I go out, I might not feel like going out, but after 10 minutes of being out, it was funny, somebody said to me about the happy juice starts going around your brain, and I start feeling, yeah, this is great. I'm out in the countryside, and isn't life worth living?
You've already decided that everybody's going to have you locked up in a padded room and don't want to treat you or shouldn't be allowed to treat, and it's not that way once you actually talk to people.
To be able to open up and actually be honest with my family and friends after that and say this is the way I've been feeling, because I didn't want to tell them. I really didn't want to tell them. I just thought they wouldn't understand.
You have to take time out for you. It's a really important thing to do. Look after yourself before you look after others.
I think I've always been an effective listener, and what I'm now learning is to listen to myself.
Having struggled has made it easier to be able to talk to people and not worry about appearing vulnerable. Who cares?
Everybody in life is fighting a battle. It's just how some people deal with it better than others. Some people have more support than others to be able to get through it. And I just think it's so important just to let people know what is going on.
Where I went wrong, I just carried on, not really stopping to talk, to share. I was just going from one crisis to the next, until I basically keeled over.
Talk to somebody, don't bottle it up. And the first time, and this is something I've not ever spoken with anybody other than my wife, don't get to the point that I did where I was tying a rope around a beam in the garage. I was at that low ebb where I was prepared to take my own life. Don't ever get to that stage, because it is horrible.
Don't go down that road and attempt suicide, because it affects your family and your friends and your loved ones so much, and they'd be inconsolable if something happened to you, Open up, talk.
WAST, keep talking.
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 WAST, please keep talking.